No, we're fine.
Wow.
You didn't see anything.
What's going on, people? You know what? This is the first time I actually wanted to say good evening and welcome to the Family Table Podcast. It is Friday, May 29th. This is episode number 8 there, people. Episode number 8. Aren't you happy and excited?
Here comes Crossman
look at
with
that.
the dinner for the evening.
For the evening.
For the evening.
Look at that. And now these personal handmade pizzas are brought to you by Jonathan Laurie. Thanks, John. I appreciate it.
Oh, some protein bars. What type of protein bar, and actually, where are you headed? Wait, you're allowed to leave wherever you are? That's awesome.
That's pretty cool. That is pretty legit.
Hey, Chris, thank you for being the waiter.
That light is super bright.
Oh, yeah.
We'll fix it.
Yeah.
Just turn it around a tad.
But we got a lot of stuff. I mean, if
much better.
If you guys saw our Instagram post before the show,
our X bars are good.
We have a lot planned.
No, that's perfect.
Have a lot planned for today. We got, of course, John's Jam's new album coming at you.
Now then Brandon looks like he's highlighted.
That's okay. Yeah, I'm just normally pasty anyway, so.
No, I'm saying because you're the host of the show.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I got that white light on me, so I guess that kind of makes it a little bit brighter.
The spotlight and we're your pawns.
Yeah, exactly. Then we got the news of the week, and then no Squeezy Jibs this week. He's, I guess, still stuck in India.
Yeah, we don't have a Squeezy.
That's why I believe it's real.
Yeah, so I guess he's still stuck in India. But then we got another game coming back at you.
Perfect.
So got a lot of stuff going on. And
tell me what you think of the pizza.
Is it good? Don't chew into the mic and tell the people what you think.
No, it's really good. It's got immense amount of flavor.
Seems like you're lying, Chris. That's like, oh, yeah, it's good. Whenever somebody says that, that means it was terrible. It was atrocious.
Well, or they're just indifferent. Like when we were showing people a bunch of our songs before we decided to put them on the record, they're like, you show someone and half of them are talking while you're trying to listen to it. Mm-hmm. And you purposefully want their opinion on your songs, and then everyone either sits on their phone or talks, or they say, no, it was good.
It was good.
So what you're saying is it's sort of kind of the reason why people don't like new tastes of pizza is sort of like how people don't like new tastes in music. Like they don't want
good segue, bro.
You know? So that is agree. That's kind of the topic that we're going to be talking about today is you want to preface it there, John?
Bias in music. And now I don't mean music biases because I started reading some articles about it, and people were talking more so about music biases based upon, like, when you're told, hey, there's this professional musician that released this album, what do you think? Or, hey, there's this guy in his basement that recorded this album, what do you think? Some people are more inclined to like the professional guy more so. Not talking about those biases, but I'm talking about our own personal bias when it comes to the music that we listen to and the music that we like. And so that's a later topic. That's a later topic of this podcast. But just know we're going to be talking about it.
Yeah. No, today's crust is actually pretty good. It's a little soft.
Thanks for the host.
A little soft.
The Real Red Fire. Much appreciated. Thanks for lurking, coming in and out. That's totally cool.
Yeah.
You're always around, and we greatly appreciate that.
Listen,
so thank you.
The people that really make this work for us are the lurkers. They're the ones.
The lurkers are the best.
Yeah.
Love a good lurk.
Yeah.
I lurk all the time on Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the biggest lurker. I go from one to the other to the other. Is lurker the right terminology? We're still new here.
I lurk when I go out in public. I look around a corner, look around, you know.
I don't think that's something you want to admit.
No, it's just, you know, you're keeping things interesting for everybody.
Keeping watch on everybody.
Yeah,
keeping
exactly.
all the right people in your peripheral.
It's
in
just
the vision.
Concerned lurking.
Yeah. It's
trying to watch out for your fellow man.
It's lurking with a purpose. Not saying all lurking has no purpose. I'm just saying my lurking has a purpose. Anyway,
I doubt it.
Anyway,
I think I nailed the crust today. Though.
Yeah, no, it's pretty legit.
I think I did.
Segue, another debate.
Yeah,
pineapple on pizza, pineapple and ham on pizza. Yes or no?
It's a good thing.
Write in the comments below.
Let us know if you think that abomination should be a pizza or not. I think that pineapple and ham on pizza should be thrown away in the garbage.
Is it
Get
something
rid of it.
short of a mortal sin? Yes or no?
It's a sin. Big sin. That's right up there. Moses forgot to add that one in the Ten Commandments. He was
Thou
like,
shalt not eat or
pineapple and pizza.
pineapple and pizza.
So
on the
all
pizza.
I'm saying, let us know though what you think. Okay, just a yes doesn't really help it. That could go either way. But should pineapple and ham belong on pizza?
I think it should.
All right.
Yes. Okay, I agree with ham. I totally agree with ham on pizza. Ham on pizza makes sense.
No,
Not-
he said no ham for the pizza, but pineapple, it depends.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, I thought I read it the other way.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think, though. Pineapple, but really, pineapple on pizza? I don't know about that. I can't do the sweet in the pizza.
Sweet, tangy cheese.
I think it's really good.
Nah,
But,
I
you know,
doubt it, Catherine.
That's also
We are
coming.
at-
That's
we
all.
are at odds on this one.
That's also coming from the guy who lurks for fun. So, John, you want to introduce your John Jam of the week?
You gotta pull it up.
I know. I got it. Don't worry. You got to do your little.
No, I'm well.
No,
all right,
you
let
got
me do
your-
my little
Yeah,
introduction, and
that's
then
what I'm saying.
we'll get it done. So, here we go. The
Is that from Highway Song?
nope.
You
Rhythm.
sure?
You'll never get it right.
I thought it was Highway Song.
So-
That's okay.
The John Jam of the week is something different than what I normally pick. I usually pick a country album or like some sort of in between rock. This one is kind of heavy, kind of different. Here,
Volume's
I'm-
all the way up. Just make
okay.
sure that's plugged in.
So here we go. My John Jam of the week is. My John Jam of the week is, in fact, Attention, Attention by Shinedown. I'm going to start, I think that's the best way to probably go about
Yeah.
introducing the album instead of just me going, oh, here it is.
Yeah.
Like, let's play a little bit
Yeah.
as I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So, where's my notes?
John wrote like a whole encyclopedia section on this album. So
This album came out in 2018. Now, you might remember Shinedown from songs such as Second Chance or their cover of Simple Man or Sound of Madness or any of those beautiful tunes that they had in the past.
what was the other one like the bird and the
The Crow and the Butterfly?
yeah the bird and the bug, whatever.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
it.
okay.
So
That song makes sense.
Shinedown is one of my favorite rock bands because not only is it a super group of talent, but Brent Smith has probably one of the best, if not the best, voice in rock right now. And Barry Kirch, the drummer, is a great guy. Here's a little tidbit for you, is that we went all the way to Erie, Pennsylvania. Now, from us, there's a whole story about the Erie trip. Maybe we'll recount the Erie trip on a later podcast. But we drove all the way to Erie, Pennsylvania, which for us is like 7.5 hours away. And it's just a funny overall story. We'll talk. Actually, we should make that a topic for the next podcast.
Like
or whatever.
crazy trips, and we have people share their experiences in the comments.
I like that. I like
or we
that.
could have someone call in, like a bunch of people call in. We'll give out Brandon's phone number, and we'll have everyone call Brandon.
I need more friends, so I guess that's okay for me too.
So, we went to Erie. Oh my gosh, stand up. We went to Erie, Pennsylvania, and saw Shinedown. But that was before this album. Now, Barry Kirch, the drummer, is actually my height, which is very surprising. He said we need more short drummers out there, and that just made my I think year.
Hey, yeah.
But anyway, so Attention, Attention is Shinedown's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th album, I'm pretty sure. I should have done my research on that, but I didn't. So 7th album, and not only that, it's a concept album, which artists don't generally do concept albums anymore. Like Pink Floyd The Wall, I know Coheed and Cambria does their concept album. I don't think there's ever been a country artist that's done a concept album. Concept albums have kind of faded. But regardless, it's very cool when a band can pull off a concept album. This album is dark. This album is depressing. This album is sad. But
It's also happy.
it's also very happy, which is crazy. I'm going to talk about that after we get into this chorus, because this chorus is just super heavy.
Before you finish, is a pizza up for grabs?
Yeah, oh, totally.
Can I have just slap it on in there? It's that
So-
good.
This song is...
You got talking to the microphone.
This song is super heavy. Now, it starts off really poppy and stuff, and then all of a sudden, oh, man, I'm just already ready.
I forgot about this song.
Yeah, right?
You know, I figured out what I'm listening to on the way home tonight.
Yeah.
With the windows
Yep.
down and just driving angry.
So, this album, like I said, is a concept album, and it starts off in a very peculiar way. The first song is called The Entrance, and that's really just a soundtrack. And it's you hear this like knocking in the back, like this dun dun, like this very rhythmic knocking, and then somebody gets to a door. You can hear a door open, and then you can hear somebody sit down, and then they breathe out. And then the song Devil starts, and it's like, oh, man. Now, I'm not going to get into every song track by track, even though it's very interesting, and I encourage you to read about it and listen to this album. But it starts off very depressing. It's about a guy who's going through life, and he's hit rock bottom. And life is terrible right now, and everything's against him. All the cards are against him. And then all of a sudden, he sits in this chair, and he reevaluates his whole life. He looks at his family, he looks at the things he's gone through, his own mental turmoil between him. His one side of him is saying, you're a loser. The other side's like, but I'm more than just a loser. And,
What, are you reading my diary?
and then halfway, that's really good.
Thank you.
And then halfway through the album,
I am not just a lurker. I'm also a part-time comedian, too, so.
and
Because
then
my life is a joke.
halfway through the album, though, it changes, which is very surprising. And all of a sudden, you go from, like, it being really sad, and there's this sudden shift to you're now listening to a really hopeful and happy album. So it starts off really heavy and sad, and then you kind of forget that the beginning of the album was really sad and depressing. Now, all of a sudden, it's happy. So the one thing that I want everybody to hear is part of the last song. And I won't ruin it for you because it's awesome. But it's basically about now, once you've reevaluated yourself and you've found your purpose in life, it's going out there and knowing that you're probably going to fail. Life is going to be hard. I don't know. It doesn't matter, wherever a chorus is. And life is probably going to be hard. Things are going to be tough. But this is your day to get out there and be brilliant. So play a little bit of this.
Calling out to everyone, are you mad or insane? Quicker when you curious, and better once you realize. Finding someone you can trust gets results, check your pulse. Let me clear my throat, let me catch my breath. Let my heart bleed out till there's nothing left. It's my day to be brilliant. It's my day to be brilliant. Say it if you're one of us, the beaten and the furious, been chastised and lost for the very last time. It's all the same, believe it or not, but this ain't a game, and I'll never stop. So you better run for your life. Let me clear my throat, let me catch.
So the main point of the album is at the end of the day, we all have our struggles. We've all got our problems and our own things to face. But at the end of the day, we're all the same. And it's time to get out there and make a difference and be brilliant.
Boy, I really hope that the police officer that pulls me over on the way home tonight is a Shinedown fan, because I'm going to explain to him that I'm
While
sorry.
you were driving
I'm sorry,
erratically.
officer. I'm listening to attention, and I need to, I need to just drive
I
angry.
gotta go fast.
Believe it or
You could
not,
drive
this song
angry.
is great to wake up to because you wanna. And I know it's
It
like,
wakes you up.
It's heavy and it does wake you up physically, but at the same time, it's also one of those tunes that just it makes you want to move. You don't want to be sedentary anymore. You want to just actually make something of yourself. So,
Go make something yourself.
yeah, what are you doing watching this podcast? No, please watch the podcast. But
You're doing something by
after
watching the
this,
podcast. Yeah, exactly.
After this, go be brilliant. But right now,
No,
you
but
can be
hopefully
lazy.
this is the podcast that people end up watching that, it truly wakes them up. And,
Yeah.
at the same time, to a certain degree, it's a waste of time, sure. But, hopefully, like after getting introduced to such a great album that you do want to check out those songs and everything, and it helps motivate you to get out there and get busy.
Oh yeah, and
Busy.
that's the thing about music is it has that power to basically if you're laying down in your
Which
bed.
we will talk about today.
I know, but that's
as
what I'm
well.
saying. The segues
The
are just, they're
segues.
just
Oh, it's
stacking
so
up
good.
on top of
Man,
each
do we
other.
have a show for you
Ugh.
today?
Well, I thought that was really good. But you know what this means?
I feel good.
Good news of the week.
I knew that I
Oh, yeah.
would
Good news of the week.
Oh,
so good. So good. I got you.
Oh boy.
Ridiculous.
The good news. John,
hand jive it.
pull up that picture.
You got to get a good hand jive going.
Now, this is not the old lady who needed the stock of beer the last
Yeah,
couple
last
of podcasts.
time I was a little upset because I was like, no, why is she in the hospital?
I
bed?"
know. This woman, she is 103 years old.
Wow.
103.
Having a nice Bud Light.
Exactly. Her name is Jenny Stejna. She was
Polish?
Yeah. She was
Yep.
given a slim chance to survive after she was hospitalized
Russian.
with the coronavirus earlier this month.
Ooh.
Stejna, who is claimed to be a feisty Polish grandmother,
Yep.
is from Easton, Massachusetts, and she was the first resident in her nursing home to be diagnosed with COVID-19. And she contracted a low-grade fever. Everybody said, okay, we're going to put you into a quarantine ward, and her condition kind of got worse from there. Nursing home staffers eventually called Stejna's granddaughter, Shelley Gunn, and advised her to say basically her final goodbyes before it was too late. Basically, everybody was saying that she was going to pass away. According to the Easton Wicked Local, which is the local newspaper in their part of Massachusetts, Gunn's husband asked can't talk, too much pizza in my stomach, Stejna if she was ready to go to heaven. And Stejna reportedly responded with a resounding hell yes. Because
Oh boy, not sure if that contradicts. Like if the key at that moment
That
was
might
taken away.
I
Might
know,
negate
yeah.
it a bit.
Yeah. So, however, to everyone's chagrin, Stejna made a full recovery from the virus, which is
Yes.
awesome. I mean, at 103 years old, that
Why-
is.
so
I'd
what
celebrate
does
with
the
a beer.
Bud Light have to do with this?
So,
Hey Vanessa.
as a means of celebrating her recovery, nursing home staffers gave her the bottle of Bud Light to have once she was fully recovered and there were no problems anymore. A drink which she loves to drink, and has not gotten to enjoy in a very long time. So, to Jenny, cheers to you for doing what was thought to be impossible.
There we
and
go.
surviving the coronavirus.
That's what
a
I'm
good
talking about.
story.
Yeah,
I mean,
103.
102 or 103. Wow.
103. I only
That's
hope I
awesome.
can be on this earth for that long
That's
and
crazy.
have a celebratory Bud Light.
And I
Good
mean,
for her.
it's tough because for her, she's like saying, listen, if this is my time to go, which is fine. I mean, at 103, she probably lives a very long, healthy life, especially to be around at 103. Most people are just happy to be around at 90, 95. So for her to be around at 103,
And still going.
she's happy, but I mean, she has something in her immune system that is keeping her.
Is that Polish blood?
That's what I was about to say. I mean, our grandparents, they're Polish, and our grandpa.
Our grandparents are gonna live forever.
Yeah,
They have outlived a lot.
yeah,
So
and
I don't
Great
think.
Depression.
Yeah.
Well,
knock on wood. Don't think they have anything to worry about.
yeah, and on top of that too, you figure that what I always think about this too. Why are the elderly more or less surviving a lot longer than sometimes people either our age or when people in our dads or, generation
Where
are getting older?
Tops would be 60.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? It's just, it seems like for their
Modern medicine, baby.
their generation, it's just that willpower of going through like 2 world wars,
I think
the
that
Great
could
Depression, and it's just like the resilience of their.
You withstood the worst, so when nothing's happening, then you have
Slept
nothing
in
to worry
dirt.
about.
Yeah,
They like, they went they went to the market uphill both ways, that type of thing.
Yeah.
That's what they say.
No,
is
sorry,
that-
I wasn't just like not listening to you. I'm just watching our audio
okay.
thing, and it's a little low.
I can turn it up.
Yeah.
But it's, you know what I mean. It's like,
That might have something to do with that guy.
oh, it's probably, I know exactly what it is. Brandon
Those
didn't
things are
turn up
turned
the
down.
gain. But that's okay. We're good enough. Or maybe.
No, I would.
Brandon, hit the, Chris, you do it because
Yeah, I don't
he's
know.
not
I don't know
gonna
what- yeah.
what he's doing.
Listen, I just host a podcast. I don't know how to do anything else. So.
But I think that, I think it has to do with the World War thing and
So
It's got-
turn down the music. Oh yeah.
the gain. No, it's cool. Just turn up the gain on the mics.
See, I didn't
You
know.
would think at episode 8 that we would have this all figured out,
Yeah.
but we don't.
But the other thing is too, I was told to set up everything by
Yeah,
myself.
that's true.
So,
Usually it's me or the craftsman doing like the technical
think-
side of things.
Yeah.
I think that's how it was for the acoustic live stream, and that's why when I watched it back, it was very, very
Could've been.
low.
We're
No,
figuring it out.
yeah.
Whatever. Anyway,
But no, like
that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
So 103, just surviving life. She probably has another 100 years left in her.
Good
you
for
know?
her.
Oh,
Good for Jen.
Vanessa wants to know how the new place is.
Oh, it's awesome. Yeah, it's really cool. I know.
It's gorgeous.
I'm gonna have to post something to Instagram probably this weekend.
Do you want to give away a city?
No. Well, yeah, I'll say Plainsboro.
Because
Yeah.
it's absolutely gorgeous there.
Yeah, but you know what's actually crazy too? I was telling this to them. I don't know if I mentioned to all the lovely listeners out there that where we moved to right now, we currently live. The numbers line up fairly the same for our address currently here and the one I moved to. We live in Hillsboro, where John and Chris do now, and I moved to Plainsboro, so that's a borough and a borough. And the house.
Dublé Borough.
Yeah, the house numbers, the one house here is 3832. The one that I
What?
moved to is 3822.
Yeah, I guess
You know?
there's enough house numbers out there
Yeah.
where
Yeah,
you
we're
didn't give
good.
away a street.
Exactly,
we'll be
that's what I'm saying. And then
What street do you live on?
and for me,
You want to give out like any other information, man? Social Security.
I think it's
Yeah.
funny how our socials line up.
no, mine
Here,
doesn't.
let's talk
Except
about
for yours.
socials. All right, Chris, your turn.
One.
And then
7,
hold on.
2.
I don't know. Did I tell you this, John?
5?
That the mailbox, ours is 10 out there, and so is the one for ours too.
That's
nice.
crazy.
Yeah.
Nice
So
reference.
Now
it's-
people they're gonna put the pieces together.
Yeah,
They're gonna figure out where we live, Brandon.
They're gonna be like, oh boy, 3832 with a number 10 mailbox.
Don't
I
say
wonder where
it.
that's
Don't
gonna
say
be.
it again.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's go on to the crazy story since we're getting a little crazy.
Well,
You think I'm crazy too.
to be fair, you did put our whole address on the.
S-Man, what's going on?
S-Man is in.
Yeah, John
the
John can't complain because he did put our address on our first business cards when we were handing them out.
Handing
listen,
them
it
out.
was a
Yeah.
it was a terrible time. In
Luckily,
my life.
it was in
I-
Wildwood when we noticed that,
Yeah.
and those people hopefully are either from Pennsylvania or somewhere
Or
far away.
they threw it away.
or hopefully they.
They're like,
All
"Who's
right,
this
what's-
band?"
Okay.
All right. So, you might think for a crazy story, it's a picture of a pigeon.
Right.
What does that mean? There
does that
are
have to
crazy
do with
birds out
crazy?
there.
We've got some big ones at Home Depot. For some reason, I think that they've been living there for the past 15 years.
Nuclear pigeons.
And they are as big as chickens. I'm not gonna lie. And all you hear is, you know, the normal pigeon. This is like, and then they swoop down like pterodactyls.
They go instead of they do
Sup, punk?
tweet.
This is my home now.
So, a pigeon was suspected of being a trained Pakistani spy.
What?
No.
Yeah.
Stop.
No, this only happened 3 days ago, so it's real. So this pigeon was detained near a disputed border in India after officials discovered a coated ring attached to its foot, according to a report. The pigeon, painted pink, was captured, which I don't know why, painting
Why
a
would you
pigeon pink. I don't
Why
know.
would you do
make
that to
it
that
Listen.
poor
more
thing?
Conspicuous.
So
Less
was
more
captured
conspicuous.
Sunday by villagers in Manyari, located near the international border that separates India and Pakistan-controlled Kashmir. This comes from, of course, the Times of India report. While it's unclear where the bird came from, it is reportedly believed that the bird flew across the border in Pakistan, which you figure it's common for a bird to fly from one place of origin to another,
Right.
I would think so. In a statement from a source in the police department for India, they said the following: that the pigeon is suspected to be trained in Pakistan for spying, has a ring with alphabets and numbers written on it. Though birds have no boundaries and many fly across international borders during migration, a coded ring tagged to the captured pigeon's body is a cause for concern, as migratory birds do not have such things. You don't see birds flying around with coded rings.
I was gonna say
right?
it might I could see it being a way to track migration patterns for studies and all of that.
Yeah,
But
and
I
you
believe
figure-
that they just use microchips
and you
for
figure
that now.
pink might resemble it like being noticeable, like that's
Yeah,
the
like
pigeon that
like
you're.
you know
yeah.
that it's that pigeon that
Exactly.
migrated all the way from wherever.
Mm-hmm. So the police senior superintendent said that it is unclear whether the bird was intended to spy, noting that people in Pakistan tie number tags on pigeons to claim ownership as well.
Okay.
So there's either
And he just wanted a pink pigeon
super spy or just
or pet.
pet
Pet pigeon.
pet pigeon. He said that an investigation is still underway.
Was the one on your
So.
doorstep wearing a coated ring, or are you just commenting again?
But that they're actually when reading the
That's
article, they
weird.
have said that there have been previous reports of birds carrying suspected secret messages across the border into India. In 2016, a bird with a note allegedly threatened the Indian Prime Minister was found at the Pakistan border and taken by police.
Wow.
So no matter what happens to this poor pigeon, this is truly a story for the birds, and I hope he has a really good lawyer.
Oh, nice.
Oh, it would have been great to pull up a picture of Charlie Day.
I know.
Bird law.
Yeah, I know. I forgot about that.
I'm quite. What is it?
How does he bring the information back to headquarters? He gathers the information and is just stuck in limbo.
No, I think he contacts the pigeons from Home Depot.
I don't know.
Tries to get some
I would
assistance.
watch out, Vanessa. You may have a stalker on your hands.
Yeah, but isn't
Bird
that
law.
crazy
Charlie
though?
Day and his bird law.
Isn't that crazy that
A
some
spy,
spy
Never mind.
pigeon?
not stalker.
I
Spy.
wonder. That would be neat.
But didn't they just have that movie with Will Smith and Tom Holland, the animated one where he was a spy and he got turned into a pigeon?
Who knows?
Maybe.
So maybe it's like an actual thing based off
Or
of.
is it a guy
events.
trying to start news? Is he trying to start his own conspiracy?
Or it's a carrier pigeon. He's going old school,
no.
you know. But we'll see if there's a follow up on this story.
What if it was a failed engagement attempt?
Yeah.
He was trying to train the bird to fly into like his girlfriend's house, and maybe why he was painted pink
Yeah.
for whatever reason.
Maybe that's her favorite color.
Favorite color pink.
And the ring had the coded message on there saying, "I love you. Will you marry me?"
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And the Indian police are like, "Oh no,
We're taking this in.
yeah,
We're-
we're taking this in. We don't
no.
know what that means."
Spy.
Yeah, spy. Just
Pigeon spy.
pigeon spy. I think maybe because he was colored pink, and maybe they thought spy pigeon.
Aren't spies supposed to be dressed in black and not noticeable?
Maybe they were going the opposite.
Make it so noticeable that it's not that you don't want to pay any attention to it.
Exactly. So
Pigeon gender reveal.
yeah, it could
It's
be.
a girl.
It could be that too. Spy. So all right, John.
That is crazy news.
All right, John. Your little
Finishing my pizza.
John has a new segment. We kind of started it over the past couple of weeks where we have an overarching conversation topic that we're going to bring to you guys to stimulate conversation between us and the people that are listening out there.
Homemade plain
But
pizza.
we figured that we would give it a name and that John would have his portion and then Chris might reveal his portion next week or the week after, depending
I
on
might.
you know
I don't know.
what
We'll
happens.
see.
Yeah, yeah.
Whatever happens, happens.
Exactly. So-
Regardless, why though? That is my new segment. No,
John.
no music, nothing.
why?
Why though?
Why though?
And look at that snazzy outfit he's got going on.
Why though?
Why?
I like the bangs.
Why though? Why?
Following the trend.
Why though? What, John? Why though?
Why
What?
though? So this is like, you ever shower? No, you ever go take a shower and just think about like the little things in life, like how do pigeons build nests, and why do we have taste in music, and where does hair come from?
How do you get a gender reveal with a pigeon?
Who
you know?
knows?
Yeah,
So these are
exactly.
the things that I think about, and the things that keep me up at night too. Till 2 in the morning, I go, well, why though? So that is where I got the.
You know what you should have? Be like, why though?
No,
No,
I
just-
want
just-
I want it to be me just going, why though?
just
Dead
Like,
silence.
dry.
or just very. I mean, he looks like me,
It's
right?
just so dry.
Mm.
Who thinks he looks like me?
I gotta say, he's a little more handsome.
The hair part's on the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
There's no other hair for the bit.
Yeah.
There's
emoji,
no way to
regardless.
flip it.
That's okay.
So
Anyway,
my-
continue.
Last week, 2 weeks ago, we started like a topic about music, and we're musicians. For those of you that don't know us, our main job is making music and writing, recording our own originals and all that good stuff. So you can catch our full band live stream on Sundays.
Sunday.
And our acoustic
Sunday,
stream on
Sunday.
Tuesdays. But-
Tuesday.
But anyway, so on Fridays we do our podcast, so I figured this would be a great time to talk about music things as well. And so my one thing that I wanted to talk about, I think it was last week. Was it last week that we were talking? What are you laughing
I'm laughing because Chris
He
called.
checked to see if there was any pizza, and
Yeah.
I caught it.
at?
Chris, I was kind of like trying
Caught you
to.
in the act
I was
of
trying
hunger.
to. I was trying to hide,
That's
just by
hilarious.
like glancing over, and Chris just
That's
dead,
great.
deadlocks me in the eyes, and he's just like,
No,
Nope.
there's no, there is no pizza.
"There is no pizza." No,
I can make more after.
we actually kind of started this topic about 2 weeks ago, where we
What
talked.
was the first thing that we talked
The first
about?
one was
nostalgia.
No, that was.
That was the first actual segment.
Yeah, and then
Actually-
last week we talked
actually,
about
it's-
music taste.
Yeah, but it's been going on honestly for a month because of the week before, like the 3
Yeah.
weeks ago, we talked about what is it important to go to college for music.
Yeah, that's true. So
Oh.
now we're on to a new topic.
4 weeks in a row.
So this one is about music bias. Why are we biased? So
I
last
feel like
time
it kind of relates to the one that we did last
it does. It does.
it's all connected.
But
all connected.
last week we talked about music taste and how you develop taste and why it changes over the years. But my main question this week is, why is it that when we hear something, we automatically flip one of two switches? It's this is good, or this is bad. And then eventually you know, if it's bad and you give it a couple more listens, it might become good. If it's like really, if you like it at first glance and then you keep listening, you kind of go, oh, this is amazing.
Flipping the switch.
That was
Got
a
it.
faulty switch.
Yeah. So you get what I mean? Is that's what I wanted to talk about in my segment this week. Why though?
Why though?
So why do we have music biases? If you guys have anything in the comments that you know about, or want to share, or any questions, we're gonna try to get through some of that. But
Is it more how you? Because I feel like it definitely relates more to what we were talking about with, like, why we like certain shows or
But
the nostalgia
it-
thing. I feel like it directly relates to that.
it does. But I also had the question of when we hear, like when I first heard this album and listened to it all the way through, this Shinedown album, I listened all the way through and I was like, it's okay. And now I really love it. So don't get me wrong, I picked it as my album of the week. That means I really like it. But when I first heard it, I was like, not that good. Not a fan. But now it's like, what was my bias at that point to get me to go, I don't really like this at first glance?
I would assume change how
might be.
people don't naturally like something new right up front.
Mhm.
How, well, I don't know, because when you first move into an apartment, you're excited, but then when you hear new music, then you're like, oh, whoa, I don't like that. I like how the band was
Right.
like
Yeah.
last
had
2
that-
years ago.
I've had that multiple times, and then they come back. So, like Nickelback had a completely pop garbage album. Now it's not that bad, but it was like completely against the Nickelback grain. And then all of a sudden, the album after, they went back to being heavy and even heavier than they probably ever were.
Yeah.
And it's like that, for whatever reason, that appealed to me more than, you know, I don't know. It's like the other question I have is like we instantly write things off, and why is that? Why
Yeah.
do we instantly hear something
Okay,
and
now
write
I
it
get
off?
where you're going.
Yeah.
Where we hear something and we don't even give it a chance, and maybe that's our way of protecting ourselves, like we don't want to like anything new. You ever have well, there's
I have something to bring to the table.
Okay, go ahead.
I was gonna say I don't know if you wanted to talk about your
no
stuff
I've
first.
got stuff for later on that I found.
What
But
I found an article by neurosciencenews.com. I don't know if you saw any of
I
that.
might have looked at that one.
They were talking not about the genre of music, on how
Right.
you might just have a bias towards a specific genre, how maybe people who grow up in a certain, like Chris was saying, your environment and where you live, maybe you live up north and you don't really, or maybe in Chicago, let's just say, and you're more into like underground rap, R&B. You don't really like country music because that's not where you're accustomed to. So
Right.
you have a bias towards country music. But they talk about, for neuroscience.com, and in this research that they did, that some people have a bias towards professional recordings and like at home student recordings.
Yep.
And they said that the researchers examined a group of people, and they showed them basically student recordings, which is basically your garage band type recordings, nothing crazy or no auto tune or anything, just basic bare bones stuff, and then professional stuff, which is what you hear on the radio. The researchers saw high activity in a region of the brain related to cognitive control and deliberative thinking throughout the course of the excerpt with regards to playing the professional music. So basically it just stimulated more cognitive activity, and then when the student recordings came on, there was like no brain activity because they just didn't care about it.
Well, because it's not even just about caring, but because how in heavy music people want to, like with the Shinedown thing, when that drop came up, it made you feel something because you can feel the bass. You
Yeah.
can feel the energy in the song. If that was a student recording
You
and that
wouldn't
drop
hear it.
wasn't there, it wouldn't have the same effect. And you're going to say, it's a good song.
Yeah.
But you're not going to say,
So
man,
then
this
there's a-
song bops.
So then there's a point at which really good mixing comes into play in whether or not you'll like something. Really good production of a song.
Like with the Billie Eilish stuff, the production is amazing, but man, I do not like the music
Yeah.
part of it.
And to go
Sorry, is my
to-
bias showing? But
but
You hear Billie
she's-
Eilish and you're like,
maybe it's her. Maybe it's I don't know. Maybe it's her personality. I don't like the green hair. I think that's my thing.
yeah. But to
She-Hulk.
to go off of like what I was talking about is you have, I think maybe a part of the bias of what people have with regards to raw recordings versus professional is because they've been listening to professional their whole life.
Right.
Now we live in an era where everything is digital, everything is mixed for the most part,
Everything
and
is pretty next to perfect.
and produced.
Yeah.
Where people who were growing up in the 50s, the 60s, and 70s, everything you played on a record player and it still sounded grainy. You couldn't get rid of that grainy sound, so immediately you think, oh, okay, it's not perfect.
But even then,
know.
I like things that aren't perfect. Like
I
I
know.
was listening to one of Eric Church's albums.
But I think that has to do with you having a bias of being a musician. The shoulder hug.
No,
Shoulder touch.
But even a non-musician, and I will not give out her name, but a non-musician that I know that took only one class in high school that had to do with music. She
Was it music expression?
no, it was music
Appreciation?
No, music tech.
Oh, okay.
And so we were listening to a song, and it was Jack Daniels by Eric Church, and
Mhm.
in the middle of the song, they go off time. Like the guitar part, you could tell it was a live recording, and they go off time just slightly, and then you hear somebody like yell in the background, like "Oh!" and it's like, and so you hear somebody yell in the background like they messed up, and then they all get back on beat again, and I thought that was so cool. When I first heard the song, and even to this day, I like stuff that's not perfect. So maybe that's my bias, is I like older styles of things. But that could just be me. I mean, there's also a difference between raw and good, and raw and you recorded this on your phone or
Yeah.
GarageBand, and you didn't
Yeah.
really know what you were doing.
Well, because no
Raw-
matter what, it still makes you feel something. Like on your phone, I remember our old phones had a certain amount of compression.
Right.
When you would do, like when I would record my guitar, it would add a certain oomph to it that our phones now don't do.
Right.
Where it's got to be mixed so that it's listenable and you can withstand the rawness.
And I think that raw, maybe the raw that I like is when it's done good in the sense of what they used to do. You get what I'm saying? Like how
with
they
the Elvis stuff where
Right.
you know it's all done in one take.
Rambo of Minnesota. What's going on? But my main thing
Yeah, he
is that, you know, I think what, you all right?
I just had to do my unemployment, and I had 4 minutes to do it.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so.
So
Sorry.
my main thing was that I like stuff that's raw, but raw from a good era of music. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
guess.
Well, like you probably like Chuck Berry,
Well, yeah,
Otis
but-
Redding.
But
you know,
yeah,
stuff like
then
that.
again, they're not even perfect. You compare them as far as what they did stacked to any record today, and recording quality wise,
Yeah,
not that great.
yeah.
But
Well,
for the
I was even
time,
talking about
top
that
notch.
with where we were even talking about that with how the Xbox has progressed, and I was talking with Caleb's brother Justin about it. He's like, "Yeah, remember when Halo 1 first came out and we thought it was the absolute greatest thing ever."
Right.
And him and his friend were like, "Hey, let's break it out and play
You
it for
start
old time's
playing
sake."
and you're like,
whoa,
whoa.
whoa, those are just blocks with feet.
That's totally true.
Everything was so pixelated, but so as it gets better, all you want is the graphics to feel like you're playing a more realistic game.
I also think a big thing.
Same thing with music.
A big thing going on here in bias. So I'll just bring up my other points that I had about this. There's a very interesting test that was done. This guy, Josh McDermott, who's a professor at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology,
Ooh, sounds smart.
found that people like things based upon where in the world they grew up, because they
That
did
makes
this.
sense.
They did this very interesting study. They went to a very secluded area. I can't remember the exact part of South America, but they went to this very secluded area
Mm-hmm.
and brought along only like 2 sound recordings. They had a very dissonant sound, and then they had a very good sound,
Like a happy.
yeah, a
yeah.
non-dissonant sound. So you don't have the piano app here. I got it.
Well, because
So like they brought along something like
I feel like you're going from one extreme to the other.
Well-
it might be a bias towards 2 things that aren't possible
Yeah.
well what
when you're listening to actual music.
what the main thing that I had
Is
was
your volume turned up?
Yeah, I think so. Something like this sounds really pleasant to us,
Mhm.
but something like let's get a weirder one. Something like that. They brought along something that sounded like this and something like this. And the people from this tribe in South America said they both sound good.
Wow.
But for us, because we've been so exposed to this our whole lives, and they haven't, that we've been told this sounds good and that sounds bad.
Yeah.
To them, they both were equals.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Isn't that a very interesting thing? So this
That is
guy,
cool.
Josh McDermott, said that more so bias of some sort, the reason we like certain things, and this is a grander scale, not just where we're at in the United States. It's us being in the United States that makes us like the popular music at the overarching umbrella of popular music, whether you're talking about stuff from the 50s or today or any genre in between. The overarching thing is we grew up here, so we're going to like stuff that's consonant and not dissonant.
Yeah.
Like I was doing the Grubhub stuff, and I went to Bombay Wok, which is an Asian fusion thing.
Where's that? That's in
right off 206.
Oh, okay.
But so this guy, while he was cooking, what I play when I cook is normally like Zach Brown Band,
Mm-hmm.
Gaslight. On a very rare occasion, like I'll be doing some 80s rock here and there, but nice cooking vibe music. This guy
Right.
was listening to Indian chant music
Hmm.
while he was cooking, and I can only assume he listens to that on the regular. Where
Yeah.
for me, that's not my cup of
It'd
tea.
make you stressed a
but-
little
okay,
bit.
so this is
So that guy, that's his rock music.
right.
Yeah.
Is he listens to that on the regular? Like, yeah,
Like that's his
That's
Brian
bopping.
Adams.
Yeah.
But the other thing, there's another study that was done.
and I don't mean to be disrespectful if that came across as disrespectful. I mean,
No, it
absolutely
makes-
no disrespect
no,
behind it.
it-
But
it makes
I think it's
sense.
weird how he sees that as his Wham.
Yeah.
His, Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense. His Wham.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
hey,
cheesy
Qual.
Qual.
What's
Yo,
going
what's
on?
up,
What's
my
going
dude?
on?
Thanks for
Or
joining the
dudette?
family. Much appreciated. Did the puppies happen?
Look at that.
Woo!
Look
Look
at
at
them
them
puppies.
explode.
Fantastic. But
No puppies were harmed during the process of that follow.
Yeah.
but there was this other study by this guy
Squeezy Jibs.
Thomas Premuzic. His last name is Premuzic. So like
Pre-music.
Premuzic, sure. And so he's
Sounds suspect.
he's a psychologist, and he said that we like music for 3 reasons: that it improves our performance on tasks, it stimulates us intellectually, and stimulates more so our intellectual curiosity, and then it also manipulates or influences our current state,
Our current reality.
which Aristotle and Plato had a very, very, very similar debate thousands of years ago, where they talked about, does art influence us? And I did this whole
It
talk.
absolutely does. It influences your whole lifestyle.
But now, where Plato argued from a point of,
Is he the one that
oh,
like-
thank you.
Is he the one where you squeeze it
Which
through
one?
a tube and it comes out crazy hair?
I think Cheesy Call is talking about me. He's got it.
The luscious locks or the
Fancy fans.
fancy fans.
I think he might be talking about the guy in the ball cap.
That's definitely who he's
Yeah.
talking about.
Nice hair. Just kidding. I don't have any.
Yeah.
So, my
I did. Thank you. Thanks for noticing.
she didn't say it was good.
Oh.
No, it's a fine haircut.
It's a
Oh,
yeah,
fine,
she stuttered.
fine haircut.
No, she stuttered even over message.
So anyway, but Plato and Aristotle had this same debate
I got styled by Kay.
thousands of years
My
ago.
girlfriend.
I'd say at least 10 years ago they had this debate. And they talked about how Plato argued that music influences us negatively, whereas Aristotle said, no, it influences us positively. Not really music, because they
Yeah.
didn't have like the 12-tone music that we have nowadays,
Mhm.
but they
They had like dun.
had
dun,
like
dun, dun,
good chants and
dun,
stuff.
dun,
Yeah.
But anyway, so
dun,
that was a
dun.
very interesting debate, but that's a thing for another time. But isn't that interesting that we like music based upon 3 things, and that it's to improve our tasks? So for you were talking about driving.
Yeah.
Instantly when you heard the Shinedown album, you're like, I know what I'm driving to.
Yeah.
And then
I just gotta remember.
My
it.
CD
Or-
player broke, so I just sit in the car and it sounds like this.
oh, that's good music. That's good. And how we like I was making pizzas the other day, and I'm like, I can't listen to country music when I make pizzas. Sorry, and I can't listen to country when I'm making pizzas. I need Italian music, so I listen to Italian music, and so
Yeah.
so
When
that
the
was
moon
well, that song came on, and I was like,
Your
instantly, I
eye
wanted to
like a big pizza pie.
That's amore.
That's amore.
tippy tippy tay, tippy tippy tay. All right. Anyway, so guys are making fun of me. It's fine.
Just trying to.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Just trying to.
So it's
you know.
to manipulate or influence a certain state was the other one that I thought was interesting. So anyway, the three main conclusions that he came down to was there's a wide range of music nowadays. You can get music anywhere. If you want like Gregorian rap, you can get that somewhere.
Can you really?
I'm sure it's possible. I'm sure it's possible. And then the other thing that he talked about was what you brought up was we like things because of
Hey, he has a name. It's Chris. Chris.
What Chris brought up was that
Thank you.
there's
I'm sitting right here.
there is what you guys made me lose
Oh, sorry.
that our social identity is what develops our music, what we listen
true.
to. So
Yeah.
like you talked about where you are in the world, you talked about being somebody from Chicago is least inclined to listen to country music
Yeah.
as in somebody from Georgia. So that's a very interesting thing. And who you grow up with and who you're around and the identity that you now another very interesting thing that the guy brought up is we go into somebody's house and we are able to judge them based upon what their house looks like.
Of course.
Yeah.
You look around their house and you're like, they're really fancy. They must be fancy people. Now, that's not always the case.
Or these people are whacked.
Or, yeah,
Because
like, wow,
I
it's
saw a
too
house
nice.
on Zillow that Kayla sent me a couple days ago, and it was the outside of the house looked normal.
You guys moving out?
No. No, I'm still in credit card debt.
Man, nice.
So, the house was picture perfect on the outside. They had the pool, a gazebo, they had a beautiful lush garden,
Mhm.
collection of Russian nesting dolls,
Right.
and they also Nacho Libre, everybody. And on the inside, they had their dining room set up like the inside of a spaceship from like Star Trek. The basement was a beach. It
Wow.
was weird.
That's creepy.
Like, yeah, we should have had that on Crazy News.
Wow.
Trying to sell that house, you get a lot of confused
Yeah.
people walking in.
But anyway, so they were talking about that, or this guy Thomas was saying, if you go into somebody's house, you can judge them, and most of the time, at least 90% of the time, you can judge somebody based upon what they listen to,
Yeah,
too.
it's true.
And that you know, there's lyrical things, lyrical topics that you relate to. If you're an angry person, you're going to be listening to aggressive music.
Or happy music to try and make you happier.
Right. And then the last thing that he said was the
Talking to the mic.
I know, sorry. The last thing he said was the major thing was the emotional function of all of this is that we do it to achieve a certain emotion.
Mm.
When it's a rainy day outside, I'm not going to be listening to Sunny and 75. I'm going to be listening to
Which is officially, I think, our theme for the summer.
yeah, it's got to be. It's a great song. But
It just hits home.
Easy like a Sunday morning.
like you're not going to
Yeah.
listen to Easy Like a Sunday Morning if it's not Sunday morning.
Well, yeah,
Maybe.
I
mean,
yeah.
you might. But my main thing is we do it. Now, they haven't figured out yet, and there's a lot of speculation on this, why we emotionally attach to a song. Or why, like, what's the bigger overarching thing?
What's the reason? Because we
Mhm.
know why it happens. Like at our uncle's funeral, they played Freebird, so now I have a physical or a mental attachment to that song that I didn't have before
Yeah.
because of the memory of that. So then, but why does it happen?
Yeah.
Right.
You don't know? I mean, because it's the whole thing of reminiscing on the good old days or trying to hold on to a memory
Right.
just because it's naturally what
Terrence
we do.
had a song called "Hanging On to a
Yeah,
Memory."
I think it all
It's a
relates.
great
it-
title.
It, all relates to the brain and what goes on up here.
I think I'm gonna take
Um,
that. Hold on.
You know, and it
Yeah,
really
sorry,
it
Terrence.
is an awesome thing to think about, because you, like I said, you try not to be biased when you hear new music or are being shown new music, especially like that's the other thing too. If I don't discover music on my own, new music on my own, and somebody's like, "Hey, listen to this," and you listen to it right now, immediately you're like, "I don't like it because you didn't discover it." You know?
It's a bunch of different things because
Yeah.
I notice I listen to music for that, for trying to get that physical response out of it. Of either it's like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
or like, aw, but something
Or
like
you want
that.
a good cry.
Yeah, or you just want to wake up and
Now,
cry.
Vanessa brings up something very interesting, though. She said she once knew a guy that changes his identity every few years. He would listen to rap, and then now he's a hippie.
Do we know the same person?
We might know the same person, but anyway,
DM me.
the thing is that's a very interesting topic as well. Is why do we change our identity? Why do we change?
When one thing doesn't
but
work,
why though?
when one thing doesn't work, you
Why
want to
though?
try something new.
But
Yeah.
I've also gone through phases. I went through the Beatles phase
Yeah,
for a while.
I wore
where
tight jeans too.
Yeah, I went through. Yeah, you know what? I think now it's like pizza dough. Oh, dude, everything's coming full circle. I'm having
Around
an
a pizza
epiphany.
dough.
Was
And you know what's crazy? Pizza, it's a circle.
it's a circle?
I
but
thought the
so
same
I
thing.
went. I was making this dough and I had to mold it and I had to like shape it, and now I feel like I'm at the point in my life where I feel shaped. I'm gonna experience new music. I'm always going to be looking for new stuff, but I feel molded. Whereas when you're a kid,
Well,
it's like
you're
you're
molded, but you still got the ingredients. You got the pepperoni, you got the sausage like that you want to sprinkle on there. That's everything else.
The
like-
ingredients.
Like you don't
the
really know
nutrients.
what you're gonna put on the pizza yet. What you're gonna put into your own music taste for sure. But you kn-
it's
you're,
the
like-
mold is
like
there.
you're almost close to the oven. You're almost ready for delivery. You just need to be sprinkled with some stuff. So no, it's good. I like it a lot.
So
I think it's
that is my overarching. I still have
That
no
was awesome.
answers, and the best thing about life is that we are all left with more questions.
Well-
I firmly believe that the best thing you can do is always ask why though.
Yeah.
why
And
though.
I was, because I actually paid attention in sociology because my professor was an adjunct, which essentially means that they worked in the field and now they are eligible to just teach that class.
Right.
So he came back and he's like, yeah, I went to prison. You can call me by my first name. So now that we have that stuff out on the table, he was just all around a cool person because he showed that he wasn't perfect. He wasn't trying to act like mightier than thou, how
Yeah.
most
Right.
professors try and act, where they directly tell you exactly what to do. But anyway, so he said ultimately what would stop a lot of arguments and debates around like politics or just viewpoints on what music is good, what music is bad, is if people just understood that. He asked us like what's the answer to like why everyone has a reality, or does everyone have the same reality? Something about realities and the way that you perceive the world, but ultimately it's you need to just accept that everybody has their own reality that they choose themselves, and it's based on your own perception. Kind of how we all can see red, but my red isn't the same as yours.
Yeah.
Something like that. So it's
true.
heavily based upon the fact that you can't try and change someone else's opinion because they're still going to stick to their guns
And
at the end of the
wha-
day.
how you can listen to Gaslight Anthem and I can't, and that's totally okay.
Yeah. Nice shoulder hug. All right. You guys. Oh yeah.
Definitely close.
Little yeah. Yeah.
Something like that.
Something
I
like
don't know.
that.
I read it in a book.
In a book. All right.
You caught me.
You guys ready for the game of the week?
All right.
The
Now we
game.
had a whole thing set
I'm-
up for this.
I'm
but
I'm very disappointed because I put a lot of work into this
True.
thing, and it's but we're doing Brandon's Who Wants to Be a Point Collector.
That feels good on my ears.
Oh, sorry.
Nah, it's fine.
Point collector, point collector.
Nice.
Nice. All right. So, I'll bring it to the camera here. Just
We
that-
said nice at the same time. I think it's that triplet telepathy
Yeah,
thing going
I'll
on.
bring
For
it-
those of you that don't know, we are in fact triplets, hence the name. But
Well, I don't know.
Look at all that
Is
work.
it?
Wait. I don't know. They're not gonna be able to see it. There was a lot of work put into
he
this.
put a lot of work into it, and then at the end of the day, we couldn't actually make it happen.
Yeah.
So
See, the problem is Microsoft. If you don't re-up your membership or you don't buy
which
new
is
Microsoft,
garbage. You
yeah,
bought
it's terrible.
like you spent $300 on Microsoft, and then they're like, "Well, at the end of this year, you're gonna owe another $1,000 if you want a new Microsoft account." Like, shut up!
Yeah.
Nobody uses you anymore.
Making more money. That's a ploy to eventually rule the
We all
world, as he
use
put
Google
it.
Yeah.
Docs nowadays anyway, so stop it, Bill Gates.
You
Get
pay
off my back.
$199.
Can you
for,
give Chris that pen? That's by my keys.
Oh yeah.
This way he can do that. Yeah. So unfortunately, you guys can't see the beautiful artwork that I
But
did.
what you do
but that's
get
okay.
are points. If you want to play along at home, you can get TA tokens, which will show up in the TA token store, and you can use those towards certain things. And now, being that we're on Twitch, you can also subscribe to us and all that good stuff. But we'll get there eventually. You guys do what you want with those points. Give them to a friend, give them to a neighbor,
Or
somebody
spend
as a
them.
Christmas gift, or spend them on like T-shirts or stickers or a Skype call with us, whatever you want.
CD, all that
CD,
good stuff.
yeah, because our album just came out on Spotify and iTunes, and physical copies are available everywhere, anywhere. It makes a really good 2020 Christmas gift. So, I mean, it's
Because that's going to be the next time
it's
you
May,
see
but
somebody.
like, yeah, it's May, but you better get on that stuff early,
Yeah.
because who knows? Maybe we'll sell out of Triple Addiction merch. Who knows?
Yeah. All right. So we have.
That guy who commented about the hair.
Yeah. He never said.
He never said who. I'm kind of upset.
Maybe he was biased. I don't know.
He might have been biased. Okay.
So how Who Wants to Be a Point Collector works, you at home, there's going to be A, B, C, and D choices. So if I say an answer, you just put down A, B, C, and D. That's how it works for this one.
Okay.
So you guys at home, I'll read off the questions. John and Chris will answer, and then you give your answers too, along with them too. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 main questions for each of you, and then 1 big final question for each of you. There's those 7 each. So we're going to go point by point from lowest to highest. And, of course,
Great.
the points are not just 100, 200, 400, 500. They are very random.
Is everything
Which
made
is
up
okay.
and the points don't matter?
Exactly. All right.
Fantastic.
So we're going to start with the you want to start with the winner or the loser from last week?
I think I won.
I
right,
lost so
all right.
bad.
I
So-
gained that victory. So
And see, I'm upset. I have Chris and then I have Joanne on here because you're going to be Joanne. Yeah. So, all right. Anyway, let's play. Joanne, for 165 points.
Oh, you don't get to choose?
No. I choose. For 165 points, what is the total runtime for all the MCU movies combined? Approximately.
Is it because you saw the collective DVD for sale online for something like
No,
40
it's just
bucks?
I knew this answer beforehand. I just wanted to see
Wow.
if you knew it. So, what is the total runtime for
and make
all?
sure you guys play at home too if you know these
Yeah.
answers.
What is the total runtime for all the MCU movies combined together? And this is from Iron Man
Yeah,
1
I got you. I got
to
you.
Spider-Man Far
Gotcha.
From Home.
Gotcha.
So is it A, 3,000 minutes, B, 4,500 minutes, C, 2,485 minutes, or D, 5,200 minutes? So again, the choices are A, 3,000, B, 4,500, C, 2,485 minutes, D, 5,200 minutes.
I don't even know how many movies there are in the MCU.
So A, B,
That would
C,
be a lot
or
of
D.
mental math, so this is going to Was C the 2001?
C's 2,485.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go with C. C's get degrees.
Waiting for people. Give their answers.
Yeah, basically you guys can all put in an answer because I don't know it.
So for everybody at home, the total runtime for all MCU movies combined, is it A?
They're at least half of them are really good.
Is it A, 3,000 minutes, B, 4,500 minutes, C, 2,485 minutes, or D, 5,200 minutes?
I think we got them all in.
All right. What's the answer?
All right. So, the answer is A, 3,000
Nobody got it.
3,000
Wow.
minutes. And which, honestly, it's kind of ironic. Not ironic, it's kind of a coincidence. When they came up with the I Love You 3,000.
Whoa.
Whoa,
yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah, is that the total runtime of all...
Is that why they said it, or
No, it was just a coincidence. It's just something that the writers came up with, and they said, let's just say I Love You 3,000. And it ended up being the total runtime of all the MCU
That's
movies.
crazy.
combined.
Awesome.
Yeah, so isn't that really cool?
Divine intervention
Exactly.
for the MCU
Yeah,
movies.
I like it. I think that's pretty cool.
If you didn't know, we're also big. We are big Marvel fans. DC, but Marvel.
Yeah,
You guys got
Marvel
it over
all
there.
the way. All right,
My
so
favorite movie is the Justice League movie.
No, it's not.
I like looking
I
for
saw that
boxes.
movie. I saw that movie 4 times, twice in theaters that I paid for tickets.
Why?
Because I went with Ben and Austin. They asked me to go, and I also went with the cousins. And then we watched it at Rise House.
So you led them to be tortured,
I tortured
Knowing-
myself.
knowing that was going to be garbage, and you're like, oh no, yeah, let's see what this movie is about.
Basically, yeah,
You led them to the slaughterhouse.
I did.
all
the
right.
movie was so bad.
All right. So Chris, for your 165 points, how many MCU movies has Hawkeye appeared in? The character of Hawkeye, played by Jeremy
2.
Renner. Renner. All right.
Renier.
Is it A, 3, B, 4, C, 7, or D, 5? So the character Hawkeye, how many MCU movies has he appeared in? Is it A, 3, B, 4, C, 7, or D, 5?
Just say the numbers in order.
A,
No, don't say the letter.
oh, 3, 4, 7, 5. John, do you have an idea as a onlooker?
can think of one of the answers. All right,
All right. So what is your answer?
go ahead, Chris.
Senko.
He's saying 5.
Locking it in.
That's correct.
That's what I
You
was gonna say.
are correct.
Man,
Avengers, Age of Ultron, Civil War, Endgame.
Mm-hmm.
Was he in?
Not Infinity War.
No, what was it?
Thor.
Thor.
He was in the he was like a brief cameo, but it set up his role for Avengers.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So 5.
Very cool.
So the answer was D. D5.
D.
We're just going to go starting with Chris because how I laid out the answers
Yeah,
was
whatever,
Chris
it's
round.
fine.
So, all right. So, Chris, you have 165 points.
You're getting lots of calls
So I
here,
get to
Brad.
I
go
know.
again?
It's all, you know what it is? It's all,
Spam.
yeah, no, that and car calls probably. Or it could be because Blue has to get, taken care of on Monday. So, not taken care of, meaning
Yeah,
like
Kevin,
put
you're
down.
killing it, man.
But he has to,
Kevin's killing it like Rambo out there.
yeah. So it could be the animal hospital, So, but not. I got a new cat. He has to be fixed. So that appointment is on
That's
Monday.
a good way of putting it.
Yeah. So the appointment's on Monday. So
they got to set
could be
him
that.
straight.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Chris, for 444 points. What is the most played Red Hot Chili Peppers song on Spotify right now?
Ooh. See, these are questions I can get behind.
So,
There's a couple I can think of.
is it A, Californication, B, Can't Stop, C, Under the Bridge, or D, Snow? Ayo. So the most played Red Hot Chili Peppers song on Spotify right now. Is it A, Californication, B, Can't Stop, C, Under the Bridge, or D, Snow? Ayo. So A, B, C, or D? John, you don't have to look it up. I'm just going to play it at the end.
I just want to see
Right?
Because I can think of how for Californication, let's talk about the 4. Californication could be a bunch of not the surfing community or whatever, but the kids that longboard and have never actually ollied or kick flipped ever in their life.
I've kick
I could-
flipped. You guys will
could-
see that in a little bit.
Yay. But I could see them listening to that the most, but then the actual Red Hot Chili Peppers fans would listen to Can't Stop and prefer that.
Now, for Kevin in Minnesota, you said C, Can't Stop. Can't Stop is actually B. So do you mean B or C?
Can't Stop.
So I'll read them again. A, Californication. B, Can't Stop.
Mediocrely, yeah.
C, Under the Bridge. Or D, Snow? Ayo.
Yeah. The guys who push from the back of the board.
All right, Craftsman, give your answer.
What do you say?
I'm going to say Can't Stop.
He says Can't Stop.
So B, Cannot Stop.
Can't stop addicted to the shindig. I don't think they've ever written a lyric that made sense.
The answer is
I don't have a partner.
the answer is C.
It is a little bit more mainstream, I guess.
Well, it was also one of their first hits
Yeah.
too. Yeah. It has 626,743,364
They're rolling in that Spotify dough.
streams. Isn't that insane in the membrane?
That's crazy.
Yeah. That is insanity. Yeah, so they got like John said, they are rolling in the Spotify money. All right. So you said Can't Stop. I'm sorry, but unfortunately I can't focus because
Lonely as I am, together we cry. I'm like, what?
all right. So
What does that mean?
John, for 444 points, what is the most played Blackstone Cherry song on Spotify?
Ooh.
I know exactly what it is.
So, most played.
Damn, I don't.
Is it A, When the Weight Comes Down?
I know that.
Yeah, it's funny because as you sent that message in the group chat, I was blasting When the Weight Comes Down on my phone speakers.
So is it A?
That's incredible. Kevin of Minnesota.
Is it A, When the Weight Comes Down? B, Blame It on the Boom Boom?
Oh,
C,
dang it.
Lonely Train? Or
Oh, dang
D,
it.
White Trash Millionaire?
You picked all the ones that I've been negating. Wait, did you say Blind Man is one of them?
No.
No, that hasn't been a top charter in a
Oh.
while, but I know
Oh, boy.
exactly what it is.
So,
I don't
A,
think anybody else
B,
knows this band as
C.
well as us
Yeah,
and
but
Kevin
but,
of Minnesota.
but this also brings up a chance for people to look at Black
You
Stone
guys
Cherry
should
too.
listen to
Yeah,
this
they're,
band,
we
but-
we know them on a somewhat personal level, and they're awesome
The reason
guys.
why I like them is because you never listen to it and say, I know exactly what this band is going to come out with next. Is every record has been different. Every record.
And Francis Cass.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Francis Kaze.
most played Black Stone Cherry song on Spotify, is it A, When the Weight Comes Down? B, Blame It on the Boom Boom? C, Lonely Train? Or D, White Trash Millionaire?
Anyone want to take just a stab shot in the dark?
We have 2 guesses.
Francis Kaze.
We'll see you soon, Vanessa.
See you, Vanessa.
Thanks for coming.
I was going to say either Boom Boom or Lonely Train because of its longevity in the WWE.
I got an answer. Can I get my answer?
Yes, you can.
I'm going to go with B.
He says B.
B for Boom Boom.
Sorry, the answers and everything separate on here. I didn't get that far. All right, you are incorrect.
What?
What?
It's probably Lonely Train.
White Trash Millionaire.
What?
Oh,
Are you
White
man.
White Trash Millionaire is the
Top one.
Yeah. No, and
Jeez.
it is a
It's
an
banger
awesome
of a song.
It ha-
It slaps.
Blame It on the Boom
It
Boom
bops.
is the most popular but not the most played. Most played is White Trash at 21,638,698.
You see what a professional recording makes you do. You hear those guitars. You hear the strings moving with that bass, the compressed thick, like you hear that pick attacking
Yep.
the bass guitar.
Yeah.
And it just makes you want to, you give
You
like
just- You get the stank face going.
like you just smelled some rotten meat or something. You're just like,
It slaps. It
Mm.
bops.
It slaps.
Does all
So-
of those.
The current standings, we have Chris at 165, John at 0.
is that Skippy?
So, all right, Chris.
It's either Skippy or Jack Black. I can't tell.
Chris. 4.
Oh, it slaps. It bops.
7,033 points. What is the state bird of Montana?
Okay.
I like these questions.
This is where we're going now.
These are the questions I've been yearning for. Because
Because you know the exact answer.
So,
no.
It's a blue-breasted warbler.
It's the large-nosed carpet croaker.
all right. So the state bird,
Purple-toed finch.
the state bird of Montana, is it A? Is it A, the yellow hammer? B,
Oh, but I've seen those at Home Depot.
B.
Oh, yeah.
B.
Nah, I just work here.
Yeah. B.
Oh, you know. How you doing today, Chris? Living the dream.
That's how you talk to all of your work friends.
Can
Everybody in the store.
Another day, another nickel.
No, I guarantee you ask any Home Depot employee how they're doing, they either say, living the dream. Oh, you know, just another day in paradise. Or like, just something like that.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
So, okay, state bird of,
Try it.
of Montana. Is it A, the yellow hammer? B, the western meadowlark? C, the wild turkey? Or D, Tweety bird?
All right, so a couple of these are fake. My answer is still a large-nosed carpet croaker, but
So the state
or I think that's actually a fish.
Yeah, I think you'd be correct on that one, but so
If you guys haven't seen Bad Grandpa, I'm not encouraging,
Not endorsing the
Profanity.
movie,
but,
but there's
man,
one part of it that's very.
There's
Alright.
a couple.
you have like 40 seconds before this sound
I
runs
need
out.
to hear them again.
So
I need to
A,
hear all these fake birds.
A, the yellow hammer.
It's probably that one.
B, the western meadowlark. C, the wild turkey. Or D, Tweety bird.
I could see people from Montana all voting for their state bird as Tweety Bird,
Right?
but they can't take it. I'm going with B
He says B.
because Montana is west.
Montana.
Anybody else want to throw in some answers there?
Oh, I guess people are doing by popular opinion. No,
Maybe they're
They-
agreeing with you.
Go ahead.
no, they
Maybe
had
it's
them.
Tweety bird. Chris, you're correct. It is the western meadowlark.
Yeah.
And it actually shares.
I don't think that the turkey is even a state bird of
It
anything.
is. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I don't remember which one, but it is
What?
a state
Plymouth
bird.
Rock?
That's a good one. No, North Carolina. No, I don't know. But it actually shares the same state bird with 5 other states. So,
Wow.
yeah.
By
so-
popular opinion.
Yeah, I guess so. All right, so Chris, you now have an extra.
Oh, I haven't even been keeping track of points.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Wait, no, but no one has even gotten that stuff right.
Mm,
There's been a couple.
yeah.
No.
Kevin in Minnesota got.
I'm
one-
saying
I think so. We'll go through it. It's
Oh.
fine. It's fine.
Kevin and Johnny
All right.
did.
So, John.
Yep.
For your 7,033
Did
point
S-Man
question.
just leave?
No, I don't
I
think so.
just noticed they said what's up and then ditched.
No, we saw him.
Or he's just lurking.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
he heard the lurking.
So, John, for 7,033 points, what is the state bird of New York? Is it A, the pigeon,
Should be.
B, the northern mockingbird, C, a purple finch, or D, the eastern bluebird? So the state bird of New York, is it the pigeon? B, the northern mockingbird. Insert bird noise. C,
Bored noise.
C, the purple finch. Chickadee.
Shazoo.
D, the eastern bluebird.
I've got an answer.
What do you say?
I'm going with D.
He says D,
Oh boy.
the eastern bluebird. You are correct.
Wow.
It is in fact the eastern bluebird, and it actually shares.
Using geographical location.
I
to
know
your
my
advantage.
birds.
it
What
actually
can I say? I'm an ornithologist.
is that what that is?
I don't know. Is it?
I don't know.
Ornithology. Yeah, that's birds.
Katie MacArthur got that one right, and so
Katie
same with Kevin in Minnesota.
Kevin.
Congratulations, Kevin.
All right, so go to Chris, because we got to get up towards the $1 million question,
right.
So Chris, for your 543,210 point question. Sorry, not that one. In what month did Elvis Presley die? In what month did Elvis Presley die? Is
You're
it
not a fan.
is it A?
No, I don't even know.
Is it
I
A?
know either because the season passes around, and we usually went to New Hope around that time.
Is it A, August,
It's either August or something
B.
of the.
January, C, November, or D, May?
I don't even know.
August, because that's when they play all of his movies.
Oh, good. No.
Yeah.
I remember it being a different time of year than August.
No, because February is his birthday.
No, I'm not going with February though. Let's say
February wasn't even.
Were you saying October?
February wasn't.
No.
No,
February,
because it was right around Dad's birthday that we were watching Blue Hawaii.
February and October aren't even an option on here.
Was it though?
No, I'm saying like what? What other month do you think it is? It's not Christmas.
I was gonna
It's
go.
either around New Year's
I was
or
going
end
with
of
May.
So
Nope.
A is August, B is January, C is November,
summer. Augusto.
or D, May.
He's got August.
Yeah, I'm sharing the sharing a piece of the pie with Kevin on this one.
Go for it, Brian.
All right,
We'll see the other answers. They'll pop up.
he's correct.
I know I am.
I actually didn't even think about the movies
Because
playing
I remember
in August.
that we were watching all the Elvis movies, and it was a crisp summer evening.
Yeah. Wow. That's pretty. See, I didn't even think about that part. I figured you would know it. You know, but I didn't think you would know. Do you know the year by any chance?
That he died?
Yeah.
Was it 80 something?
77. Close. Very close. That's actually pretty good. You did pretty good on that one.
No, that I overbid, so I lose.
Yeah. All right. So, for John, for your high-pointed question, in what month did John Bonham die?
Yeah.
And know
I
that.
think I know.
So, is it A, October, B, September, C, February, or D, April?
I like how you said it, how it's spelled.
Yep.
February.
Mhm.
No one ever says February.
Yeah.
They say February.
Mm-hmm.
February.
Say it again.
So, is it A,
September, October.
A is A, October, B, September, C, February, or D, April?
I remember in 3rd grade, total Kraus moment for all y'all, is I tried to prove my 3rd grade teacher wrong, or 4th grade, by telling her that Wednesday was spelled wrong on the calendar. So I challenged the school
You
district.
challenged Wednesday, and you were like, "No, it's
I said
Wednesday."
it's Wednesday.
Yep.
And she's like, no, it's just people don't know how to actually pronounce it, so they changed the word to become socially acceptable.
So, John, do you
So she threw that at a 4th grader who's just saying, Wednesday is spelled wrong.
Yep.
Wednesday.
She
Wednesday.
threw the book at you. Do you have an answer?
Yeah.
What do you say?
I'm going with February.
Says February.
I don't
You
think
can't
anybody
look
else
back to your Instagram posts on this one.
Ooh, incorrect.
Oh, I know when
October.
it was.
September.
Oh,
No, it was September.
September.
Ah.
September.
Whatever.
Womp, 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 womp. I wish
I
I,
like
had
that
that
guy's
voice on
drunk.
there.
I don't know everything about his
Yeah.
life.
All right, Chris.
you're not going to lurk and stalk him.
So, again, we have to work our way up to the $1 million question. So, for 543,211 points, in the world of Peanuts and Charlie Brown, what is Snoopy's brother's name?
Snoopy has a brother?
Both of your eyes are like,
Snuppy.
Snoopy and Snuppy. All right. So is it A, Dodger,
I could see that.
B, Droopy, C, Spike, or D, Rover? Are you saying A? So, in the world of the Peanuts and Charlie Brown, what is Snoopy's brother's name? Is it A, Dodger, B, Droopy, C, Spike, or D, Rover?
I think it's A or D, but I don't know. What do you think it is? Because I feel like they might say something like Spike, but then it seems a little too edgy for Snoopy's brother.
So,
One more.
A, Dodger, B, Droopy, C, Spike, or D, Rover?
It's definitely not Rover.
Do you know that?
Yeah, know that for a fact. One of my coworkers named her dog Dodger, so I'll go with Dodger. No, never mind.
Go ahead.
Let's do a little Dodger Duke.
He says Dodger. Incorrect.
Probably.
What?
Spike.
It's Spike.
Of course it is.
It was from the episode Snoopy's Getting Married, Charlie Brown, and they prepared his wedding. The dog's name, Snoopy's fiance, was originally named Fifi, but in the episode they referred to her as Genevieve. And Spike is from California, so they had him travel all the way from California. They didn't say where the Peanuts lived, but he traveled all the way from California.
California.
So, dedicated best man. All right.
Nice.
So, John, for your question, for 543,211 points, what is the first name of Bugs Bunny's nephew?
Oh my gosh. All right.
Bugs Bunny's nephew. Is it A, Clyde, B, Hopper, C, Jacob, or D, or D, Merlin?
So we've got Merlin Bunny, Jacob Bunny,
Jacob Carbaz.
Jacob Bunny. Then we've got, what were the other ones?
Clyde
Clyde Bunny,
and Hopper.
Hopper.
I feel like it might be Hopper.
So, A, B, C, and D is as follows. A for Clyde, B for Hopper, C for Jacob, or D for Merlin. So, the name of Bugs Bunny's nephew.
Not Jacobus. No carbo today.
I'm going to go with Hopper.
Says Hopper.
I feel like it might be some hopping around.
Incorrect.
Wow.
It's Clyde.
Clyde.
Clyde Bunny. Clyde Bunny.
Clyde.
And he first
Bunny.
appeared in 1951 on the episode where Bugs Bunny was sent to the moon.
Or Bugs
because-
Bunny goes to jail.
Yeah. So,
And his son or his nephew pays his bail.
yeah, exactly.
Looney
So,
Tunes would never.
no, not at all. So, that's okay. Hey, listen, we all don't win in this game,
Right.
you know?
Right.
So,
Now, do you go in debt when you lose?
no.
No, see, that's
So, we're getting closer. This is the last question for each of you before the $1 million question.
Go
all
for it.
right.
So, Chris, for 800,000 points,
Oh my gosh.
what was America's most popular beer in 2019? Most popular beer in America
Natty
in
Light.
2019. Is it A?
Some PBR.
Is it A, Corona,
It's probably Budweiser for the commercials.
B, Bud Light, C, Heineken, or D, Guinness?
Bud Light. Bud Light. Bud Light.
Bud
Nobody
Light.
likes it, but everyone pretends to.
That's funny. So again, America's most popular beer in 2019. Is it A, Corona? Ironic. B, Bud Light, C, Heineken, or D, Guinness?
It's definitely not Heineken, and not everybody likes a dark beer.
You saying for Guinness?
Yeah.
I've never had a Guinness.
A lot of people don't like it, but man, you can like Bud because it's basically water. Shared by all.
Loved
Enjoyed
by many.
few.
Yeah. Oh.
Whoops.
All right. So he says B.
Yep.
Your answer.
It's correct.
Incorrect.
What?
Heineken.
Ew.
Heineken. Bud Light is known by 98% of America's population in whatever poll that they did, but they don't like it. They know of it, but they don't like it. Heineken is the most preferred beer.
It's like gnats. You know of a gnat. You just don't like
You
them.
just don't like them. Corona was number 2. Bud Light was actually number 8 on the list.
It's funny because
And Guinness
Bud
was like
Light
number 5.
is water. Like all of those choices that you have on there, Guinness is the only good one out of all of them.
Yeah,
Because the first one, what was it? Corona?
Corona. That's number 2.
It tastes like bread, like
Yeah, I don't know.
bready,
but you
bready
figure-
skunk juice.
But you figure it's like a summer beer.
Bready skunk juice. They
Yeah.
all taste like wheat and hand sanitizer to me.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
because wheat's in it.
All right, John. your 800,000 point question.
All right.
What was the most popular baby name in 2019 for a boy?
Oh my gosh.
Most popular baby name in 2019 for a boy.
Skyler.
Is it A? Pretty close.
Dakota.
Is it A, Grayson, B,
Ugh.
Jackson, C, Oliver, or D, Liam?
If it's Liam, I'll flip.
I could see it being Liam. There are a
So
lot of new Liams.
the options are as follows for the most popular baby name in 2019 for a boy.
Oh, we didn't light the candles again. Well,
Dang it. Is it A, Grayson, B,
That way.
Jackson, C, Oliver, or D, Liam?
I've got an answer.
I feel like it's Jackson or Liam.
Grayson. That's such like that's
Ugh.
it's a rich name.
Well, people are picking unisex names now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Grayson.
Skyler.
Grayson is a girl's name.
I've got an answer.
All right, what do you say?
I'm going with Jackson.
Says Jackson.
Jackson,
I was gonna say
Flaxen, Waxen. Oh. What is
What?
it, Liam?
Liam.
all right.
Liam's the most popular boy name. You know what's the number one girl name?
What?
Sophia.
Oh.
The soapiest rose.
You know what's the number 3rd girl name?
What?
Emma.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
Number 1 and number 3. Number 2 is Olivia for the
we
girls.
know
Really?
who looked at the list.
Yeah. No, but that's for 2019. Well, I guess yeah. Okay, I guess.
They were
They
ahead
were
of the curve.
Yeah.
Yeah, ahead of the curve. All right. So this is for
My phone's at 8%.
final
Perfect
Jeopardy.
timing.
final question.
Oh.
And this isn't the $1 million question. This is the 999,999 point question.
Okay.
Just to leave you hanging on it,
Leave
on
us
an
hanging.
edge, you know, just a slight edge. So for Christian, I ask you, "Stairway to Heaven" is Guitar World Magazine's #1 guitar solo of all time.
What is number 2?
Which one is ranked number 3?
You jerk.
So is it A,
Freebird.
Eruption by Van Halen,
Oh.
B, Freebird, Leonard Skinner, C, Texas Flood, Stevie Ray Vaughan,
Nope.
or D, Johnny Be Good, Chuck Berry, or Berry? Is it Berry or Barry?
Barry.
Barry.
You idiot.
Yeah, but it depends on how. I knew him, so.
You knew. Well, some people call him Barry.
Yeah, I call him Chuck actually.
So remember, this isn't 1, it's not 2, it's 3. The number 3rd
I could see
ranked
it being.
guitar solo of all
I
time.
think Eruption is second. I definitely think that Eruption is second. Stevie Ray Vaughan would be like a number 5. I feel like because not everyone knows the Texas Flood guitar solo. Everyone knows the Eruption guitar solo.
But this is based off of.
I was gonna say Sweet Child of Mine should have been.
This is based off of Guitar World magazine, not the people. It's the people who work at the magazine.
I know,
Yeah.
but they also have to pick by popular opinion too.
So then what's your...
What's your final answer?
What's the other one?
So A is Eruption, B, Freebird, C, Texas Flood, or D, Johnny Be Good.
I could see them picking Johnny Be Good because it lays a very basic line down. But I think I'm going to have to go with Freebird on this one. Eruption's probably number 2.
I was going to agree with Kevin on that one, though. I'm going with Eruption as number 3.
What do you
But-
think is number 2?
Sweet Child of Mine.
Chris, for 999,999 points, you are correct.
Yeah.
What did you
Freebird.
pick? Freebird.
Freebird.
Freebird is the number 3. And you know what's crazy? You nailed all the other ones, too. Eruption is number 2, and Texas Flood was number 5.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Wow, you know your instrument so well.
No, I don't.
What's Johnny Be Good? If you just had to take a guess. No, 13.
Oh, no.
Gosh.
13's not a lucky number.
Yeah.
So where's Eruption on that?
Or 2.
2?
2. Yeah, and then
Where's Sweet Child of Mine?
I didn't
Okay.
go that far down the list. I was just looking
Which
for
is
just options.
surprising
That's very surprising.
because it has all
But
the
Eruption
licks.
Eruption makes sense as number 2 though, because it is very. And who kicks off, a whole thing with like a whole song with just a guitar solo. That's like unheard of
Yeah.
at the time.
So
Well, also
makes sense.
with
That's
what was I
crazy.
gonna say?
I don't know.
Oh, with Sweet Child of Mine is that I remember why a lot of guitarists pick it, because when you first learn guitar, you have your guitar set to the bridge pickup, which is very harsh and whatnot. For those of you who don't know, it's the toggle switch on top of a guitar. But then Sweet Child of Mine gets you into the rhythm pickup setting, and you learn how that adds a little something different, and of course slash shreds.
Before we get to my thing, I have a crazy story about.
Kapushka.
I have a crazy story.
You can say the story. I mean, you're gonna lose because he answered like all the questions right except for one.
Good.
But
So
you know, you only got one right.
yeah, I know. There's a crazy story about Eddie Van Halen and Fred Durst from Limp Bizkit that I read.
Is this the one about the? I think you said it on the air.
No, I
one time.
no,
talked
he
to
only said the Slash hat
the,
because Slash is a thief.
No, I said the That was a
I
question.
talked about Axl Rose and the Kurt Cobain feud.
Oh, that's what that
But-
was. Okay,
but
I got you.
This is a different feud. So Eddie Van Halen and Fred Durst, if you guys don't know the band
Make
Limp
it fast because we
Bizkit.
got 8 minutes.
Yeah, I know. Limp Bizkit's one of the best bands of all time by far. No, they're kind of like a joke, hardcore rap band. But so Fred Durst, being the jokey guy that he is, him and Eddie Van Halen were hanging out backstage at something, and Eddie's like, "Yo, we should do something sometime because you guys are cool, you're heavy, and that would be kind of neat to have like me star in something that you guys do." So Eddie went to Fred Durst's place because they were like pretty close to each other where they were living in L.A. And he went over to Fred Durst's house, brought his whole rig of stuff, his big amp and his guitars and all the stuff. And Eddie started playing with them and jamming, and he goes, "Wait, these guys are terrible. They're like not good musicians at all." And so he stormed out. And Fred's like, I don't know what's going on. Eddie left all of his stuff there. He tried getting it back, but Fred was like never around to like give it back to him. So one day Eddie had enough of it. He had like this like army vehicle that he bought and a bunch of guns, and he went over to Fred Durst's house. He's like, "I'm getting all of my junk back." And he had like this it was like a World War II vehicle with like a mounted gun on top of it. It was like this crazy thing.
Holy
And he
cow.
goes over to Fred Durst's house in like a tank top and like cargo outfit, and he's like, "I'm taking all of my stuff back." Fred's like, "Hey, get what you." How would he say it?
Oh,
yeah.
man.
Oh man!
Take
Just
back what you want.
Take whatever you want. Oh, yo! And it was just, it's so funny. So that I mean, apparently they're in good standing nowadays, but it's just crazy how he thought
He's just like,
that
"These
Limp
guys are
Bizkit was
terrible."
awful.
Terrible.
That's why at the
Terrible.
beginning of their album, the what is it? What's the album? I forget what it's called. They're like, "You wanted the worst, you got the worst, the one and only Limp Bizkit."
All right. So,
They are totally silly.
John, for your fun, because you can't win, 999,999 point question. KFC is known for their famous crispy chicken, but in what year did they first start to sell their chicken pot pie?
Ooh.
So, in what year did KFC start to sell the chicken pot pie?
The hot dog flavored water. Yeah.
So, is it A, 1960,
Oh, yeah.
1962, B, 1995, C, 1974, or D, 1985?
You're gonna have to run those numbers again. I was thinking of Fred Durst.
So, A, 1962, B, 1995, C, 1974, or D, 1985? So the year that the chicken pot pie came to the menus of Kentucky Colonel.
Has it always been there though? Because I always remembered it recently. You know what I mean?
Shoulder hug, sorry.
Oh. I've got an answer.
What do you say?
That's what Bowling for Soup was singing about.
I'm going 85.
Says 85.
Why? What were they singing about? I don't remember.
1985.
What?
I don't
Chicken
remember the pot pie line.
No, I'm saying.
Springsteen, Madonna.
No.
Chicken pot pie.
You're not getting it. You're thinking about it too much.
Yeah, I guess.
And usually I think about it too much. But
All right,
All right.
85.
Says 85. John, for 999,999 points.
Yes.
You're incorrect. The year is 1995. 95 is when they started selling the chicken pot pie. They brought that famous meal.
did you say C?
to their? It was B. B is the
Nobody
answer.
got it.
Yeah. Wow, John, you answered one question correct today. Chris, you're the winner. Chris. Superman.
No, that's cat.
Oh, that's cat. Oh, okay,
No,
cool.
that's the cat.
Oh,
That's
the cat.
stretch.
Oh, I
It's
gotcha.
the cat.
The cat. Well, didn't you guys have fun?
That was
it,
good.
it honestly,
I had the
it,
time of
it
my
would
life.
have been so nice to see. I mean, look at this. Look at that. Isn't that?
I know.
It
that
looks
was-
like
so good.
It's the colors of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
next time. Next time
yeah.
we'll have to make sure that works.
We'll just have to
Microsoft is the worst.
buy Microsoft for $300. The
Yeah, I don't
worst.
think so.
Yeah.
But
Terrible. All right. Well, hey, it's towards the end of the show, and
Yep.
we all know what that means. It is
What?
time.
wait, hold on. I actually need to change something real fast because now I realized.
Oh, because you played it.
Yep.
Oh.
Give me a sec. 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 Give me. You all right?
Yeah.
Give me a sec. Give me a sec. Give me a sec.
Closed quarters.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry.
Oh, that worked. I think it worked.
No, I didn't hear it. It's muted.
the cat.
The cat stretch.
All right.
We all know it's time.
For shoot. It's time for our
Musician.
musician of completely ruined it. It's time for our It's time
Sounds
for
like
our
when you keep
It's time for our
Musician.
of the week.
Week.
Yeah, you get it.
Oh, that's so awesome.
All right.
I just completely lost my train of thought
You-
because like we were just looking at it. Dive bomb going down.
Going
There's
down.
no saving
But
that.
anyway,
You
her
want-
name is Paulina Pony. She is the first female musician on our podcast that we're
Aw.
starring, and she actually is getting a little help from her friends on this one
Here we
because
go.
she just started playing yesterday. There you have it.
Can we watch that again?
Paulina Pony, everybody.
Let's watch
Yeah,
Paulina
one
again.
more time.
She was doing so well.
She's
No, I
doing
admit
so
that's,
well.
that's the human's
That's
fault.
the
She was
human.
doing really good.
She was great. The guy was terrible.
But think about it. The fact that she timed out the
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
that she was able to just know that she had to keep doing it with her nose.
That was great.
You know, because the
Nice.
guy was doing all the work, but I mean, she was doing all the breathing. So.
Well, now that train wrecks. Sorry, Chris.
Well,
I'll get it better
yeah.
next time.
it sounded like one of those things where, you know, your friend leaves his browser open. You flip open the computer. It's just like,
And this is our. Wait, hold on. Let's go one more time. This is the.
Musician.
of the week.
You know what's crazy is actually before we even started, we turned on the podcast and it started playing. You'll have to listen to it.
We'll
And,
watch that
and,
back.
and John and I are like, oh boy, this is going to be a doozy. So,
It makes us look like worse people.
yeah. So as always, we appreciate you guys taking the time out of your Friday night to spend time with us and, you know, hang out for some podcasting and some talking. Like John said, we're going to be back on Sunday for our live stream where we do full band stuff.
Yep.
And we're going to be doing it at 6 o'clock. I know we've been changing our hours around a little bit. It's going to be 6 o'clock on Sunday, and then on Tuesday it's going to be back to 7. So 6 o'clock on
6,
Sunday,
7,
7. So
6,
if you want
7, 7.
if you want to think about it that way. So we, as always, we appreciate you guys. Hope you guys have a great weekend. I know summertime's kind of around the corner. People are going to the beach. Please stay safe, be healthy, and as always, stay hungry.
And wash your hands.